Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's morning here, well, 12 o'clock-ish, and we've had snow all night, and so I feel like saying, nobody knows, Tiddly-Pom, how cold my toes, Tiddly-Pom, are growing. That's one of my early childhood verses that most English people of my age knew about. Okay, here we've got a wonderful video which I just want to use to introduce the Gesara information.
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored to be here with many of the great American workers as we take historic action to accelerate the incredible revival of American manufacturing. It truly is a revival. Nobody thought it was possible, actually. And not only is it possible, but we're thriving. We're also grateful to be joined by Secretary Acosta, Administrator McMahon, and Representative Robert Adderhall, Mario Diaz-Balart, and we're working on a lot of interesting projects, and you're not going to withdraw away, huh? How's that all going? Venezuela?
Mr. President, you are the champion of freedom in this country.
I didn't expect that. I never told them this. I thought it was a great book. And you too. That I can tell you. Thank you.
Right. I don't think I said my name, Catania Alvin. I want to thank all my super-duper subscribers, and I look forward to more coming down the road. So I wanted to use that to introduce you to the February the 1st, 2019 RV Intelligence Alert resources. So that's on the Restored Republic. The cabal have several false flag attempts planned to derail the transition. However, the cabal are completely surrounded by the Earth Alliance, surrounded economically, politically, and militarily, air, ground, sea, and space. Their entire system can be dismantled instantaneously along with any nation's government that decides to side with them. Now, who are the cabal? Basically, banking institutions, the central banks. So basically, I won't go into it further at the moment. Any false flag attack attempts will be foiled and will result in their demise. Many false flag attacks were already foiled within the past 2 years. Meanwhile, all geopolitical matters are being settled and deals are being made between nations for natural resources. The turmoil in Venezuela is solely about natural resources. They have an enormous amount of oil. I've been doing quite some interesting research on the background of Venezuela and also the background of this new man that's come up, whose name escapes me just at this moment. President Trump's gold standard remark in his recent tweet was a hint that the US note already exists. It's called the USTN, which stands for United States Treasury Note. And here it is. Just bring it over. He tweets, "Our economy right now is the gold standard throughout the world." So true, and not even close. Right, so we can come back from there. So to continue, expect Trump to make even more remarks about Gesara, related to Gesara, in his State of the Union address. According to sources, the RV may begin once sanctions on Zimbabwe have been officially and publicly lifted. This would be the last negotiated deal to be fulfilled that will finally release the RV, meaning revaluation, and being a political tool for leverage. So, right, I'm going to bring across this site which talks about Gesara, which stands for the Global Economic Security Reformation Act, whereas Nasara was the first one, which was the national. That was due to the bankers foreclosing on the farmers in the 1980s, and maybe even further back than then. And they plotted it for over a year to foreclose on the 1st of September. I don't recall exactly the year. There's so much research to do. and I'll put the link in the description box of both these links, Global Currency Reset, GCR, and Resolution of Currencies, Historical Overview. And this was written up in 2015. I've known about Gesara and Gesara, first of all Gesara, and for a long while. So here we've got the introduction, old banking system, new banking system, gold standard, first basket currencies, currency exchanges, wealth diversification, trust, taxation, summation. So there's a lot in it, and you really would be well advised to have a look at it, because Trump is really walking down that path, and Britain leaving the European Union, which was the centrepiece set up by Ted Heath, who was our Prime Minister in the 1970s, and basically it was the centrepiece of the one world order. A lot of people don't realise. So this is going back to, there we are. So if you think about it, we are in amazing times. And of course the bankers have been fighting tooth and nail because their system is totally fraudulent. And I would like to do one just on banking. Bill Still did a couple of documentaries, and I do suggest you do a search for them. Again, don't, or should I say, use Startpage or DuckDuckGo. It's called The Money Masters. Very, very good work. He's a very fine man. He's done some wonderful work. I know he had, the second one was for sale. I think the first one you can just get free on the internet. But if you can afford it, do get his CD, Money Masters. It explains so much. A lot of other people have done things like that. But our problem has really been that the bankers have been actually trying to destroy as big a thing as the planet and the people on the planet. And so it's been a tiptoe, to use David Icke's terminology, in getting to this point. Humanity has given us Trump, or the energies has created Trump and many people of his ilk, of his thinking. And that's fantastic, because we really have to stand for freedom, for sovereignty, and stop going down political correctness, of violence, of feeling that we can trash anybody else's point of view without proper debate. So, right, the governments have been in the pockets of the bankers. This is shown up by this battle royal between the Brexiteers, in other words, to get back our nationhood and sovereignty, and the Remainers wanting to stay with the communistic dictatorship European Union. Probably many of them not realizing quite what they are wanting to stay in. So I've got Nigel Farage up here, and he does a very good radio show, and thank God for his clarity of speech. Brilliant. He's answering somebody.
Lewis, we had the people's vote, and we were told by everybody that it was our decision and that our government and parliament would abide by the result. To make them vote again, Lewis, would be a catastrophic breach of trust.
That's the big thing, a catastrophic breach of trust
in the whole democratic process.
But isn't it more democratic to get the population to have a second view, to maybe...
Well, why not a third? Why not a third? Why not a third referendum and a fourth referendum, and keep on going until the big banks and big businesses win? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. With all their money and all their persuasion and all their criminal workings behind the scene. And this whole thing, this Gesara that's coming about, or Gesara that's come into a global economic security reformation, is removing the banks with their fiat criminal process of the whole financial system, the Western system, and bringing it into a financial system that actually is the quantum financial system, and the banks will not have anything to do with your money. So there is Nigel Farage. There are lots of other people, but he's a very good example. And here I'm bringing across this wonderful Italian, Beppo Grillo. This is Beppo Grillo of the Four-Star Party in Italy at the Oxford Union. Very recently. What date was it? They posted it on January 28th.
Oggi negli Stati Uniti, in questo momento, innanzitutto prima di iniziare vi ringrazio di avermi invitato qui, non sapete ancora cosa vi aspetta. Ringrazio il governo britannico di aver...
I'm going to a more full one of him. He's got a very good translator by his side, but he again is a comedian, 20 or 25 years of being a comedian, but because comedians work with the human emotion and human understanding of the situation that they find themselves in, he has a very good grasp of what was going on politically, and he started putting out his thoughts on a blog. It's very interesting. I feel that the Oxford Union undergraduates could not really understand where he was coming from. Maybe some of them could, but it seems that many of them couldn't. So it's worth publishing more of that, and then I'll put the information in the description box. But he's a wonderful example of somebody who's got this emotion to shift things.
Italy is like that. These things happen.
No, è successo. Italia is incredible country. It's incredible. È tutto il contrario di tutto.
Everything and the opposite of everything.
Noi abbiamo inventato la mafia.
We invented mafia.
Abbiamo inventato il fascismo.
We invented fascism.
Abbiamo inventato il fascismo. Abbiamo inventato le banche.
We invented banking.
Abbiamo inventato l'università.
Universities.
Abbiamo inventato la geografia.
Geography.
Abbiamo Cosa c'è da ridere?
What's so funny?
What? Abbiamo con un errore di navigazione scoperto gli Stati Uniti.
So that's the nature of him. You'll enjoy it. Okay, God bless, is Catania Alvin saying after that PS. God bless and bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.